that can have you cashing out a massive check in the next 30 days. This opportunity won't last long, and it's perfect for anyone who's been in a car accident in the last 2 years. Do you still think it's impossible? I'm willing to guarantee that by clicking on the link below and filling out the 15-second quiz, you will get an instant quote on how much your case is worth. And me and my team will help you get that money you deserve in as little as the next 30 days. Still think it's too good to be true? Let me tell you about our client, Steven. Now, when Steven first came to us, he was really unsure if his case was going to be worth anything. He was facing a lot of uncertainties in his life, and he didn't know if he was going to get paid for his injury at all. Turns out, after filing a claim with us, he was able to take home over $100,000 in settlement from an accident that was over a year ago. It's possible. No matter what you thought in the past, you can get the money you were owed and probably a lot more than what you were expecting. Simple.
What if the case was closed? Because if he got 100,000, I wonder how many injuries he had. I had a head injury and I settled for 26,000. If he got 100, imagine how much more. I wonder if you can reopen the closed case. Because after that, I started going through some real serious issues.
Click the button.
But it also, the medication helped.
Below and answer the questions about your case, and you'll get an instant quote about what your case is worth.
Which I don't know if like the issues I started to have was from the car accident. Like I really started hearing things, like I had already been hearing things, but it seemed like it enhanced after the I mean, this is the honest truth, like I'm not sugarcoating. It just seemed like it enhanced, but I also took the vaccination, which made things a lot worse. So I don't know. I don't know if they can reopen the case. I don't think they can, but I'm very curious. And a lot of times lawyers don't take cases unless you're bleeding, and I don't think that's right, because I don't think it's okay or good to wait till an accident happens in order for it to I think people should be held accountable at the thought of the accident, the minute they start to harass or abuse. Because me as a person, when I go to like Ralph's or certain stores, I had this Spanish woman come and put in her bag in my face. People that are undocumented, people, you can tell their behavior is reckless. People that are documented are far more careful in their behavior because they actually can get caught. People that are being hired undocumented, they misbehave and abuse these companies and abuse employees because they can run away and they will never be caught. Not only that, they can go to back to their country and live in their country, if you retaliate against them or do anything bad, you end up in jail, right? So that's important to understand why it's good to not have illegal immigrants in this country. Illegal immigrants come in this country because they want to come to this country to ruin this country. Don't forget that they're not your friends. Other foreign countries want to be like you. And if they don't want to partner up with you, and if they can't help you, they're going to try to destroy you the best way that they can to make you think you don't have enough employees, you don't have enough people. This country has enough and plenty of employees. You guys need to search, and there needs to be more partnerships where people that are lending out, employers, great employers to like organizations like Brilliant Corners, Good Seed. These organizations are going to need your support and help so they're not vulnerable and pulling out illegal immigrants that's putting them and their clients in danger. Not only that, putting this country in danger. So don't forget 9/11 happened, right? 9/11, how did 9/11 happen? I'm pretty sure it was an illegal immigrant they hired that learned the floor plan. They're learning the floor plan. They're building your floor plan, and they're planting bombs inside of your buildings. This is why it's very important to be very careful who's building your space. Be very careful who they need to come in this country documented, right? And that's why I tell Republicans, you guys can't just leave. You're still a part of this country. Republicans have protected their homes from bomb threats, from certain things, and guess what? They're leaving the 4 other countries vulnerable. It can happen to you. You will be surprised. You think you're ready. It will happen when you least expect it. The lights will turn off. Something will, don't ever think that you're God, that you're so out of reach that karma can't reach you when you don't give a helping hand, right? So that's why I want to remind people. That's why I'm like, they definitely settle for 26,000. Not only was I vulnerable for cash, I was willing to settle for that. I was like, hey, I've never even had 10,000 in my bank account, so 26,000 was a lot to me. And I was like, hey, I'm starving, I don't have money, I don't have food, this money needs to come right now. And when they settled with that 25,000, I was super happy, and I was like, I'll run with this. And I went shopping, I bought my iPad, I bought all these things. I was literally homeless off the street, right? And Torkla saved me, and Sade Thompson saved me, but I still didn't trust her because she led me to an illegal website where I would put my information and they would eventually steal my information. See, there are people that are business owners that see you as a threat and don't want you to thrive or to succeed, but they know how to make it look like they want you to thrive and succeed. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but I'm just saying there are people that are close to you just to destroy you. And that's why you have to be very observant and discernful and understand who is your friend and who is not your friend, because friends don't behave a specific way. Friends care about you before their own personal needs. And then, yes, when you're married, you have to contact your partner, right? You have to contact your partner, but at least try to do something for your best friend. Get them a place to live for like a week or something, just so you don't feel bad, especially if you're telling your best friend that you have all so much money. That's what she would tell me. Sandra, we have so much money. I was like, so why are you telling me this? Why don't you help me? Like, you know what I mean? That's not my friend. So I knew she had to go. And she's a doctor with a PhD, and her husband, who's a veteran, came to my house and he, yes, he wanted to sleep with me, but I really didn't feel comfortable because I didn't want to betray her. And he was like, I'm gonna give you a massage. And he was like, can you give me a massage? He wanted a groin massage, and I said, okay, sure. And that's exactly what I did. But I gave him a little extra because I was so happy. He helped me buy a bed. I needed a bed. I was that homeless. Like, I was like living in a house full of cockroaches on the floor, or go outside. Like, sometimes I felt like being outside was a lot safer, but it wasn't. Once it started becoming really hot, I was like, no, because I didn't want to live in that witch's house, in a violent house, right? So yeah, definitely listen to these people. Usually they won't take a case that they know they can't win. So definitely helping lawyers, because some lawyers, they got hired and they might not even really know the law better than you. They might not have the insight that you have, to be honest, because how come they're not winning these cases? How come they're not taking my cases? I did have a lawyer call me, but I'm wondering why Torkla denied my case with my daughter when the contract was broken. That's against the law to sign a contract with someone and then say that and then an open adoption contract and break the contract and tell me what the excuse is. Because whenever I know the excuse for me. The excuse for me is that I was struggling with my mental health. I was struggling with my physical health. But she still could have kept her word. And I even tried to reach out to her after I got a house, and she still refuses to give me my daughter. As of right now, I don't even know how my daughter is doing. It is illegal what she's doing, and I need help. I need to know how my daughter is doing. I need to know that my daughter is safe. They blocked me from social media. I feel like they've completely kidnapped my daughter. And they signed an agreement, legal paperwork, that it would be an open adoption. My daughter is now 18 years old. Yes, my daughter, from the pictures that they've shown, she's from the pictures that they've shown, she's literally she looks safe. She looks okay. But at the same time, is she going to therapy? People can look okay in pictures, but be crying. Like this picture I took when I was going through the worst pain of my life. Right? Seriously, I was going through hell. I was living a radius. So people can go through hell and still take pictures. So I really want to know how my daughter's doing emotionally. That's my worry for her, for the trauma that she experienced from the separation that we had. It took them 2 years to set her straight. Their goal was to mold her into their child. But she was feeling brainwashed. She felt betrayed by me. That all causes trauma. And you need to think about the human. Don't think about yourself when you adopt a child. You must have the parents involved. We have to take this to court. They have to go. I am suing them. I'm going to sue their ass for like $10 million for pain and suffering. I know that's a lot. But shit. You know what I mean? You have to raise the bar high so then we can see what we're going to settle with. Right? And I know that seems like it's too high, because if I got hit by a car and literally got 25,000, they think I'm crazy for asking for 5 million, 10 million. What if my daughter jumped off a cliff because her mother is not there? That's a life. Right? This is why it's absolutely important to make sure that your children are well cared for, that you do your part in signing agreements, because then the child is going to feel afraid if she finds this information and finds out you lied to her all this time. These are all things parents need to consider.
And if you qualify, an attorney from our team will lay out a game plan instantly and for free. The fact that you've been through this pain means that you deserve to be compensated.
That's right.
Together, we're going to hold the parties responsible and...
Exactly. And it is not just about an accident. It's also the pain and suffering that they cause you from your child, your missing child, basically, because they lied to the government after making an agreement that it would be an open adoption. They took on a responsibility that I'm very grateful for, but they have to be disciplined and do their part. These are not the kind of people, this is not the kind of company that you can fully put your trust in, because they're manipulative. They're disloyal. Yes, there are reasons, but they still, even now that I have an apartment, I do struggle and I am struggling, but I can at least talk to my daughter. And I do understand that they don't want it to interfere with her college, but I still want to see how far she's come from school. I still want to at least, if not talk to her, let me talk to them, right? Or they have to give me my daughter back. She doesn't have to come with me if she doesn't want to, but I deserve to be compensated, and my daughter deserves compensation.
Get you the money that you are owed. You deserve more, and we're going to get you more. So what I want you to do is click the link below and fill out the 15-second quiz. And after getting your instant quote, it says you're qualified. It'll ask you for some additional contact details. And someone from my team will reach out and we'll lay out the fastest game plan for you to get the money that you are owed and get massive compensations for your injury. The YouTube video you're wanting to watch will...
And emotional pain and suffering. You know, a guy sued a company a white guy sued the apartments where I live because he got bit by bed bugs, and he took it to court and they paid him, I think, thousands, like $100,000. He won the settlement plus more because they didn't listen to the bed bugs. Imagine, white people are getting paid. They're getting their money. And when it comes to us, they don't want to pay attention to our hurts and our pains. And I think that's a form of racism, because a lot of law firms are ignoring this that I'm calling about.
Always be there, but this opportunity and the resources behind it are limited. So we want you to click the button below and fill out the casework quiz. So click the button below, begin the short process, and we'll be in touch soon.
And, you know, to be honest, a lot of people, and I'm not saying that this is
Ready
what
for
people...
real financial security as a therapist?
I'm not saying this is what people should do, but I'm saying this country in the past abused a lot of people in the Black community, and that a lot of people can sue white people for what they did to their ancestors, because it's caused a lot of people in the Black community to fail, yet the white community is still thriving. It's thriving, and it's not that we don't want you to thrive, but I don't think that it's fair that we have to face the racism that we have to face, but we were the ones that were bought into this country at a price. It's not that we're not grateful, but we're being emotionally abused by illegal immigrants. It's not I feel like white people have a strategy. I feel like if white people have a strategy, they abuse in a different way by withholding funds. That's the abuse that I feel like the people that are in authority are withholding funds, and they're not realizing that they have to build educational systems to make this country safer for the Black community from predators. To be continued.